If you're planning to have a baby, say in 12 months' time, do you actually draft out a plan? It's rare to see couples who really sit down and pen down their priority, to list down all the possible ways to have a smoother delivery, a healthy baby, and how they can experience less stress during the pregnancy period. The thing is, not all gynae are equipped with the recent studies. And to some degree, some of them are very dogmatic to what they have been taught in medical schools. In this video, I'm going to discuss about how careful planning in terms of supporting pathways of both parents and how nutrition intake can be very crucial when you want to have a baby. First-time mom-to-be usually will consult their primary care provider or OBGYN for advice on nutrition intake, the do's and don'ts during pregnancy, and if they're lucky enough, they might meet someone who can actually really give them the right directions. But this is usually not the case. And in the modern world we are living in, a lot of the information we found online can be very misleading. The other issue is we do not actually know what type of question to ask in order to give us the correct answer. We tend to miss out a lot of keywords and use less variable. Like for example, you might key in planning to have a baby in the Google search. Instead of that, you might want to consider key in how to have smoother pregnancy delivery, plus reducing chance of miscarriages. Another example will be food for pregnancy versus foods to eliminate while trying to conceive, and how to support the hormones and mood-related issues. If you're vegan or vegetarian, you need to be extra careful because some of the minerals are not found in plants. They are either less potent or less available, and sometimes you need to consume large amounts to meet the daily minimum requirement. Some of the examples of these nutrients will be your choline, creatine, and vitamin B12. Vegetables also comes with a bunch of plant chemicals and anti-nutrients, which can cause a vicious cycle of not absorbing vitamins and minerals, and further disrupt your methylation cycle. Low levels of vitamin B1 and zinc are very crucial, and with poor absorptions, you may actually decrease the production of your hydrochloric acid. When your methylation cycle is being affected, it will slowly cascade and affect the whole body system like domino effects. Increasing a specific nutrient in a pathway may speed up the activity of a certain enzyme, which may sound good, but it may turn out to be the other way around, because what we want here is a balance, neither too much or too little, which may cause toxicity or deficiency. You can actually utilize Dr. Ben Lynch's pause method, which I did mention in my past videos. The amount of nutrients and supplements you are going to take really depends on what type of situations you are undergoing. For example, some days you might need more because you are going for presentations or taking your final examinations. And some days you might need less because you are on a holiday. As a general rule of thumb, avoiding gluten, soy, corn, or dairy is highly recommended. Eliminate all forms of alcohol such as your beer, your red wine, champagne, hard liquor, and foods that contains a lot of these histamines, or even foods that causes you to have a reactions. All these foods should be eliminated or avoided as much as possible during this period. The foods which I mentioned just now is under the eating clean stage 1. As for stage 2, you will want to consider removing all these commercial vegetable seed oils, ultra-processed food, and food that contains a lot of sugar and carbohydrates. Consumption of vegetable seed oils can raise the level of linoleic acid, which can be converted to arachidonic acids in our body. High levels of arachidonic acids can affect the production of your phosphatidylcholine. And since phosphatidylcholine is the major phospholipids found in our cell membrane health, it can affect cell properties and cell signaling in between cells. Ultra-processed food usually contains high amount of carbohydrates, additives, and colorings. Eating them in huge amount usually will make you gain a lot of weight. And if someone is overweight or obese, you make it harder for them to conceive. And if you consume high amount of carbohydrates or ultra-processed food during pregnancy, the risk of getting gestational diabetes is increased. You should also avoid snacking too much nuts and seeds because they also contain anti-nutrients like your lectins, phytic acids, and oxalates. Tannins can also be found in your tea and coffee. So if you're consuming them, probably limit yourself to 1 cup per day. Stage 3 of eating clean is more like introducing nutrient-dense food. like eating a high choline food, your eggs, your red meat, your liver and fish. Consuming higher amount of choline can help in the production of your phosphatidylcholine and reduce the burden of SAMe. So you can use the nutrients for the formation of creatine and the metabolism of your histamine, your estrogen, and other neurotransmitters. You may also want to include omega-3, which can be found in your fatty fish, or odd-chain fatty acids like your C15 and C17, which can be found in your butter and ruminant meats like your beef and lamb. Medium-chain triglycerides, also known as MCT oils in coconut oil, can be also very beneficial because they have all these anti-parasitic properties. Higher protein intake can also help to regulate your mood stability. Eating adequate protein like your tryptophan, tyrosine, and arginine can help to support the production of your neurotransmitters and nitric oxide. Choose non-GMO or organic whenever you can to avoid overloading your body with organophosphate, your herbicides and pesticides. They can slow down certain enzyme activities and increase the need for antioxidants from your glutathione pathways. Check your surroundings. We know that a good environment can offer numerous benefits, which can affect your mental and physical well-being. In the olden days, when women want to have a baby, they want to move to a more rural area or more quiet place, or further away from the big cities. The fast pace in the modern cities can affect them to create more stress unknowingly. There's also higher air and noise pollution in the cities. And with the use of all these smart devices, you are exposing yourself, your body with all these EMF radiations. Clean water is also very important because you do not want chloride and fluoride and other heavy metals in your drinking water. Create a habit of reading labels. This can be the ingredient listings from your food packagings, the active and non-active ingredients from your cosmetics, or even material used in the production of certain items, especially cookware with non-stick coating, which is very toxic for the body, and they can leach into your food when you cook them in high temperature. Understanding that there is a possibility of hormones given to animals, and avoid yourself drinking water from plastic bottles because of microplastics. You should always opt for safer materials like your stainless steel, titanium, porcelain, or glass. If you are a smoker while trying to conceive, try considering quitting them. This could be just the best time for you to stop smoking for the good. Increasing your activity level. While exercising is good, what I meant here is not exercising 5 times in the gym or running a long distance run 2 to 3 times per week. Activities can mean taking a stroll in the park or walking to the grocery store. Or you can even do some basic housekeeping and leisure gardening within your house. Moving your body creates heat. This can induce blood circulations and sweating, which can increase your detoxification pathway and helps to facilitate the elimination of toxins in your body. When there's less need for antioxidants, the body can utilize the spare nutrients for other pathways, such as your DNA synthesis and ATP productions. Additional supports can be incorporated when the above recommendations show little to no effects. You should always check your digestion functions. Do you actually have adequate amount of stomach acids? This is a very common issue which I've seen 70 to 80% of my clients. Without adequate hydrochloric acids, no matter how nutrient dense your food is, you are unable to break them down and absorb them to provide all these raw materials for your body to run smoothly. Especially when someone is suffering from acid reflux. The medications prescribed to them, such as your proton pump inhibitor or H2 blocker, can further affect the stomach acid levels tremendously. At some point, this might even progress to a stage called acohydria. By improving your stomach acid level and get the digestive enzyme back to functions, you can try taking some supplements which target to support your digestion, such as your betaine hydrochloric acid. Or you can get small amount of apple cider vinegar before each meal. Remember not to drink too much water before and after your meal, because this can directly dilute your stomach acid and alter the pH level. Another way to support the pathway is to take those readily end products, such as your creatine, your phosphatidylcholine, and SAMe. The advantages of taking these, usually found in supplements, is that they can help spare meta-nutrients for other pathways. So to summarize, you can actually use the 3 R's approach. Remove all hidden and known stresses. all the epigenetic factors that can influence or add more load to your metabolic pathways. This could be from your food or environment. The second R will be reduce. Reduce unnecessary exposures. This could be the exhaust fumes from vehicles, the EMF radiation exposures, the BPA from receipts, or even these microplastics from your plastic bottles. The last R will be restore. You can refer to the 3 stages of eating clean as shown on the right here, and supplements only as needed based on the situations that you're undergoing. And lastly, try to get yourself to expose to more sunshine, because vitamin D can regulate your hormones and makes you more happy. Okay, we have come to the end of this video. If you have not watched how stress can affect your metabolic pathway, do remember to click here.